Hi there, Cupcake Sprinkles. I've got a video today on Icosa because there's opportunity that's presented itself. A big whale has sold it minus 40% down after the rally. Now, we're going to go through this video, and I want to please start by warning you again, crypto is risky. This is not financial advice. I'm wearing a core hat. I'm on the internet. Icosa is leverage on HEX, and it can go to zero. Everything can go to zero, friends. We can lose all our money. There are no guarantees. We need a lot of things to go right. But it is a Bitcoin halvening year. And please don't FOMO buy anything. I made multiple videos on Hedron and Icosa as leverage plays on HEX. And I think they're very interesting. I love how they are expansion packs. And usually I'm against these type of things. I'm like, oh, just give me the coin. The problem is, right, all of crypto, it's getting tougher. It's getting tougher to find your way. You need to go deeper into stuff. I used to think, oh, just because I know this guy and I know this community, right? Not personally, but we know of them. We know who Alex is. Alex has got a nice beard. We have opportunity around us. There was a HEX conference. We know there's going to be a Pulse Chain conference. We know Richard's coming in. Maybe the Pulse Chain sacrifices move money. We know these friends. We take it for granted. It is real competitive edge because we're here all the time. Because you like, subscribe, belly button, or we participate in this game. So we can take advantage of it. And once you have all this information together, you might be able to hone in and take a small part of your core position in a coin and go, you know what? I'm going to look at it as one bulk. And you go, okay, well, I have one unit allocated to this coin, HEX. And you say, hey, I'm going to peel off a bit and I'm going to rotate into the leverage play. You can do this for many coins. Imagine you had Solana. You had 20 grand of Solana like 5 months ago when Solana was like 15 bucks. Imagine you just said, well, I've got 20 grand. I've heard about this BONK coin. Let me just throw 1 grand into it. It's like leverage play. It's a dog coin. It's a premier dog coin. There's people backing it. Maybe there's people who knew insiders information there. They had like more competitive edge than us. That 1 grand did a 150x. So that $1,000 was leverage on Solana running. Now, of course, it's not in a vacuum. You needed Solana to recover. You needed also Bitcoin and Ethereum to go up. You needed things to happen your way, but it did. And it was leverage. It was nice, wasn't it? So interesting, the $19,000 of your Solana bag only did a 5x, so you get 100K-ish. And then that 1 grand in BONK did 150x. So compare 100K to 150K. BONK ended up going that much. Now, of course, I'm talking about the unicorn winner, but you get to see the power of being in a leverage altcoin. It's very, very powerful. Now, you might say, why doesn't everybody do this? Liquidity. You can't. Icosa, for example, its market cap is only like 2 million. You see what I mean? And the bids are only like 20K. So there's not enough room for like $300,000 even to enter without pushing it up like 4, 5, 6x. There's not enough room. Now, this is why they can't do it. This is why people don't do it. And of course, there are big institutional funds in Bitcoin. They have like, $50 million positions in it. So that they don't want to put in like $8 million into an altcoin because most altcoins can't take $8 million. Right? So Icosa has a potential to do a 180x. Okay, it really does. How do we get that number? Well, it's leverage play on HEX. It's still deep in the buy zone right now. So this is the buy zone. Okay, you're going to see this red candle. We're going to go through it. So the way you do it is, you see this ceiling up here? Well, from today's price, to get up to the ceiling, and by the way, this is a conservative ceiling, okay, it's around up here, it's about a 10x versus HEX. So whatever HEX does, this is a 10 banger multiplier. Now, you might say, that sounds too good to be true. No. Unfortunately, Hedron and Icosa have been going down only for a long time. They are leverage on HEX. So when HEX has dropped 80%, these things dropped 95%. So and remember, HEX was leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we're leverage on Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we go down heaps in HEX, and then this thing goes down even more than HEX. You can imagine that. So you might say, oh, really? Does it sound too good to be true? No, basically, if this works out, I'm literally like a saint who's come in and go, hey, look at all this blood. There's dead bodies everywhere. We get to buy it. Yeah, this is lucky. It really is luck. Because if you believe in the system and you know how it works, you would have bought earlier. And you'd be like down 60, 70%. Okay. So we've got a lot of room to go back. So if HEX does back to its all-time high, that's 18x from here. That is going to get a 10x on that. Remember, 10 times 18, that's 180x. Now, of course, you might refer to my earlier videos, friends. You go, well, what about world's biggest airdrop? Or what about, HEX can't reach the all-time high? Yes, I know. But here's the thing. You got other variables at play. For example, what if Bitcoin halvening year this year finishes red? And then the next 2 years is super bullish. Okay, that's an opportunity. What about if Richard Hart owns more coins than you think? What if the real market cap is like only 1/3 of what we think is the circulating coins? Maybe Richard owns more. So, see what I mean? These variables come out. So I'm just telling you the price potential, just so you know, to perk your ears up. I would never even believe you. If you told me BONK is going to do 100x and it was 10 million market cap, it went to 1 billion. It did actually more than that. Like, I'll never believe you anyway, but it is what it is, okay? You just don't know. So there's a wallet here, right? Wallet F829. He was holding a giant bag of Icosa, ICSA, and then he capitulated it and slammed it down 40%. This is it. See, I made this picture for you, friends, because I love and appreciate you. I'm also going to play some gentle angel music for our friend here, because you see this capitulation? And look at this big red candle. They just got out. They just want to get out. They're in disbelief. I'm going to show you the Wall Street cheat sheet, okay? Now here's the thing. He can't get back in. So what he did was he sold, and I'm going to ask you this. Who's going to sell back to him now? Because I told you, if icosahedron is leverage on HEX, and HEX just now did a 150% rally, what's going to happen now? Now, you might say, why did he sell? Well, if you go check the charts, Icosa front run HEX, right? Remember Bitcoin halvening gear. Also, obviously, it's so cheap. My video and me just saying, hey guys, this thing is like real cheap, and it can literally do a 3x from here, and there's still like another 30 to go. Like, literally. Of course, people came in, okay? So I front run Richard, right? But this doesn't always happen, okay? I'm here 18 hours a day. Front run Richard. And so this person holding Icosa, he thinks, oh, sweet, free money, right? He's got a giant position, and now a lot of it's out, and he just sells it down. So as he's selling it down, he's already committed to exiting. As he's selling it down in the past 24 hours, right? Actually, no, by the time I watch this video, past 2-3 days, you saw Pulse Chain Sacrifice Wallet deploy funds, people catch wind, there's other millions of dollars moving around, buying up the ecosystem, okay? So this person, you can see, they already committed to selling. And they're like, whatever, I want nothing to do with it, okay? So they did hold an enormous supply of Icosa. They still have liquidity providing, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they sold a big chunk and pretty much selling at the lows. You can just see it. So, this is the chart, the real chart. You can see this weekly candle, friends. This is huge red. Like, what did he do here? Bang. Now, here's the thing. It's minus 50%, man. It's crazy. Now, this is the funny part. We know how small the ecosystem is, okay? We literally know Icosa. I mean, the liquidity is insanely cheap. And I'm going to show you the picture right now. Look, the market cap's 2.1 million. Liquidity, remember 100K, that's 50K each side. That's nothing, friends. That's nothing. Okay, let's be honest. That's nothing. We literally see people putting in 30K clips minimum into like poopy dog coins. This is a derivative on like a Richard Hart project, right? That Richard Hart has given the nod of approval, just to remind you. So he likes Alex and stuff. It's pretty good, okay? Now, that wallet, okay, that wallet who's sold, he has 26 billion PulseX, so about 900K. I think that's his biggest position. I haven't checked everything. Now, this is just me saying, from the way he sold, I could just tell I don't know, I'm just here a lot. I could tell he's a bit hurt. He's been a long bear market. He just wants out. Now, this just happens, man. You get PTSD, you just don't want to touch. You just don't want to touch anymore. You're done. That's why I see, friends, I know, like, opportunities come here for you. You see, there's another whale coming in. Now, if we had not done our research, I would be saying he knows something. If you don't know anything, you're like, oh, that could be Alex himself. He's dumping on all of us. So you don't know, right? You don't know. But from what I can kind of gather, I don't know, just odds. That's why you do a lottery ticket, friends, right? This person just wants out. And what I like is Bitcoin has thrusted up for a whole year, and now HEX has done a 150% rally in 9 days. That's what I like, okay? So I have confidence, like, okay, he's not reading the signs of the market. He's not seeing that the wind is actually changing. This is beautiful. Now, I want to slow you down because you're going to say, wow, this is so easy. I've just got to wait for these. You can't, because they only come once every few years. I'm not kidding. You got one shot. It's like a free underarm. That's why I've told you, if you stay around long enough, there are times, maybe like now, where And I don't like using the word free money, but compared to how hard crypto can get and trading and investing and everything, it's free money. This is like at a scale of, 10 out of 10 difficulty, 10 being very hard, 1 being easy. Yeah, this is like easy. This is easy in terms of like you have a window of time, like 1, 2, 3, or 4 weeks where Bitcoin's gone up for a year, HEX has recovered, Richard and everyone else is pumping it, and you're like, oh, you haven't reacted yet. That's weird. Why haven't you? Okay, now, if you're sidelined, you're going to look at this and go, well, he knows something I don't. Of course, you can always say that, but I mean, they bought JPEGs, friends. They bought JPEGs and dog coins. Like, come on, and the dog with a hat. So this is his wallet. This is why I do this information for you. Please like, subscribe, belly button, or share with your friends and family. Confirm our friendship in the comment section. Tell me, do you like seeing this? I love when I watch like a YouTuber and they just do all the hard work for me. I know, like a hard family show. I just love, oh my God, they went and checked this guy's wallet address. Just we have a peek inside. What did you learn? Look at this. There's this PulseX, 26 billion. He's only got 7.7 million HEX, right? Obviously, yeah, 7.7 million is a lot. You go to $1, that's a lot. But in the grand scheme of things, that's not like rally destroying for the whole community. That's another way to think about it. Liquid, Hedron, and Icosa, nothing. So it's great. So the person who caused the big damage, everything's in liquidity providing. He's not going to pull or do anything, okay? So it's kind of cool, right? His liquid portion's done now. So this is literally competitive edge, friends. This is like, hey, HEX is up, PulseChain's up, Richard's back, Richard's fine the SEC. Why did you sell? Right? So this is, you've been in the game long enough, you get to see, oh, well, maybe something's wrong here. I feel like he's in disbelief. All right? I feel like, we've come out of the depression. He's in disbelief. He probably sees like, oh, maybe your friend saw me here, made a video, maybe it pushed up a bit too much. Right? By the way, this is nothing. I promise you, this is not anywhere near close to expensive for me. What I'm seeing, okay? What I'm saying. Please, it can go to zero. Okay, so don't use this against anyone. You have to click your own buttons, take your own responsibility. I'm just telling you, if this thing is freaking, like, HEX is undervalued, right? HEX is down 90% from the top. And then this thing, freaking, from the middle of the range, by the way, is down 80% from the middle. So you don't even have to say, oh, I want to hold it to the very, very top. You can just say, you know what, I'm done with the middle. That's still a 6x on HEX from down here to the middle. Oh my gosh. Crazy, right? So I've got to remind you, once again, Icosa requires a recovery of PulseChain and HEX. But hey, we're seeing that, right? Luckily for you, I've made video, but before this recovery happened, I told you what we require. And it's kind of beautiful to see, friends. That's why I really am a man of the people to tell you, hey, we need we're betting on a HEX recovery. And then like, bang, 24 hours later, HEX recovery starts coming. Oh, sweet. Oh, sweet, So this is it. You just, it's going to take some time, need some patience, but we're running out of time. Market's thin, people want to get in, and yeah, you got to see, as HEX's price goes up with PulseChain, we'll probably see an avalanche of good news and updates. PulseX limit orders, higher yield farms for Inc, an incentive token DAO, maybe more upgrades, maybe an exchange listing for PulseChain, maybe Alex releases Icosa Hedron. Now, here's the thing. These all maybes, I'm almost 99.9% sure they're coming this year. Why? It's just Bitcoin halvening. That's it. Right? That's what you bet on. If you want certainty, friends, you're going to be paying the high prices. That's it. Okay? So we are running out of time. Now, of course, this is actual alpha, what you would see. So we know from the HEX staking system, the T-share gets more expensive every day because it pays out yield. So to simulate compound interest, they invert the yield because they don't want people to keep staking short-term and compound themselves and beat everybody. So you end up burning a HEX away and you get a T-share, which is like they call it a money printer. It pays out the HEX inflation yield, right? Now, it's getting more expensive over time. But we know eventually what it means is, friends, and we've seen this from the evidence from on-chain. People have lifestyles and they also like HEX, okay? To get the same amount of HEX, if they're doing short-term stakes, they have to either buy more or stake longer. Now, if they buy more, we all win. But if they just stake longer, okay, in Icosa, you also win, just like the people who are staked long-term in HEX, right? Because how do you win in Icosa? Well, the yield for short-term HEX, I forgot what it was. It's probably like 8%, but it used to be like 15% at one point. 15% yield, just you're getting like more than 1% every month. Now it's down to like 8. Eventually, it's going to go down to like 7 and then 6. And what people are going to start doing is, instead of staking for like 7 days or 14 days or a month, they're probably going to start doing 3 months, trying to grab that higher yield. And then they're eventually probably have to start doing like 1, 2, 3 years. Now, you probably should be doing that already, but I'm just letting you know the bigger accounts. What this does is just creates more of a market demand over time for the encapsulated stake. So that's what Icosa Hedron is. He goes, hey, if you stake through them, they'll use a smart contract and it makes it into an NFT. So then you can trade. Now, why is this important? Well, if more people are doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 year stakes, they have a big incentive to do it through Hedron, Icosa Hedron protocol, because you will access liquidity earlier if you need to. Because you have an NFT, you can put it on the market and someone can give you money for it. And the money they pay for it is in Hedron, which is obviously the brother of Icosa. And that's basically just how the system works, okay? So that's the beautiful part here. You get to see this, okay? So that's your long-term vision. Your long-term vision is you go, well, okay, I think as the HEX price goes up and the yield goes down and it becomes more like mature, more people will have to stake longer. And when they stake longer, they're going to want this yield, you know? So if I said to you, hey, you probably don't want to encapsulate a staking contract because you're only doing like a 30-day stake, okay? But here's the thing, man. If I had to do like, okay, you give me like, oh, I've given you like, you know, 500,000 HEX and we're going to do like 100K every like 2 years for the next 10 years just to stake, right? You would definitely do it in Hedron, definitely. What if a bull market euphoria comes and you want to get out? Okay, now obviously this is the antithesis of the whole point of why it was made. It's not meant to let you access liquidity here and there. But we know this is just financial markets, man. There's a yield curve. The market has a yield curve because, yes, in an ideal world, everybody stakes for 10 years and everyone wins. But in the real world, there are points in time when everyone needs liquidity. That's why the yield curve and everything moves, right? So there is always a demand, right? There's people who say, hey, I want this money in 3 months, 6, 9, 1.5 years, 2 years, and it fills out the bond curve basically of it. So that's what it allows it to do. So that's your alpha, right? You know, oh my gosh, over time, more people will probably stake HEX longer, which gives more of incentive to use the Hedron. Now, here's the thing. As they're doing those longer stakes too, we're waiting for speculation, no expectations. We're waiting for Alex, Mr. Magic Bid, to release Icosa Hedron V2. So this is why, friends, it woke up, because I love Icosa Hedron. I love him. I love Alex. Everything's great. The last update was August, and I've been waiting for Bitcoin halvening year, and I just noticed, oh my gosh, we have now ticked into 2025, and there's still no update. And instead of like, you know, other people like, hey, what's going on? I said, oh, wow, that's sweet. That it's probably coming in soon, right? So it's opportunity here. The market hasn't reacted yet. And it's true, no one's reacted. So this is opportunity, friends, for us. So if Alex releases his Icosa V Hedron, we have 30 days and we just basically got to like send our coins in. We get basically the new version of everything. And there's going to be more features. You know, one of the features is cross-chain staking. So if you're on Pulse Chain, you can stake your EHEX from Pulse Chain. Now, here's the thing. There's one part of Alex's comments where he basically says, no comment on the fee structure. He didn't even speak about that at all, but I'm here speculating, and this is me, your friend Tommy, interjecting, okay? The key, right? The key is when he says no comment on the fee structure, I'm guessing Alex, because Alex is a very nice man, okay? Alex doesn't want to give any price-sensitive news and screw around with any market manipulation stuff. So he just says no comment on that, which means, translation, maybe when he made that post, right, he's thinking of, okay, the fee that you might need to do your cross-chain staking, the fee might be Icosa. You might need to buy Icosa first and then do it, which creates demand for the coin. So isn't that great, friends? You never have to bridge out. You can buy EHEX on Pulse Chain and you can stake it, but here's the thing, right? So, but every time you want to stake it, you're probably going to have to put like, he's probably going to put a little formula. He's like, you have to buy a certain amount of Icosa. So, of course, there's going to be a fee, the Ethereum fee, but this is what's missing. So it's the final missing piece. So there's two tokens, right? There's Hedron and Icosa. And people always ask me, which one do you like more? Well, there's a ratio between them, and it's kind of fine. You can get any friends. But the thing is, Hedron is given out to everybody who stakes long term. You can mint it for free, okay? And obviously it goes down over time, but you can mint it for free. With Icosa, it's more scarce. But there is demand for Hedron. And the demand for Hedron is, remember, that bond market and NFTs where you can stake, you get an NFT, you can put it on the market, and someone can give you liquidity for your HEX stakes. Well, to buy someone else's, you have to use Hedron as the currency. So there's demand for Hedron, underlying demand. There's no demand for Icosa though. So that's why I'm guessing, part of the fee structure for the cross-chain staking to complete the puzzle would be the Icosa Hedron update and requiring Icosa to be needed. Now you have demand for both coins. And there you have a symbiotic relationship between everything. Isn't that fantastic? Also, I speculated as well, if we end up doing a staked pulse chain, you end up needing Icosa, but that might be later on. But just to show you that these are the things, okay, that go on. So once again, it's all guessing. I don't know. This is just me putting a piece of the puzzle. It is what it is, right? I like it. Think about it, right? It makes sense. Of course, we need a lot of things to go our way. Like I said, what if pulse chain never pumps from here? What if Alex just says, I'm going to drink beer all day and not do updates? Yeah, that's the tough game. You never really know. That's why, though, when these things win, they don't give you a 2x. That's why I have see 180x. Yeah, that's the potential. You get to see these things play out. So I even mentioned, right, in my post to, most importantly, right, pulse chain and HEX recovery. And now the rest is up to fate, ultimately. So, I'll put the chart up. You can't do much here, but I'm just letting you know, right? Also interesting, the weekly SuperTrend for Icosa HEX has flipped green because the thrust upwards was so much and this guy's just getting out. So it is what it is, friends. I mean, Icosa's cheap. It's just a derivative of HEX. It is basically HEX and it's on the floor a lot. Now, please, whenever you watch this video, please, for the love of God, have a look. I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see this, okay? You see this ratio? Look, if you're seeing the ratio above 10, just be careful. Don't touch it, okay? That's personally me. I wouldn't buy it. Look, I'm not saying it's not going to go up above 10. It will. It's just for your sake. I don't want to ever tell you anything without giving you, okay, there's a buy up to zone, right? It's kind of like saying, oh, go buy a Corolla. Just go buy anyone. Yeah, but I might tell you, oh, don't go pay more than 55 grand for one, right? Because the going market rate is like 42 or whatever it is, right? So it's the same thing here. And of course, not financial advice, but I draw these boxes just to show you where it is, just for your protection. And I always, can't guarantee, but I always, when I find stuff, nothing interests me unless if it goes up 2x, it's still very, very cheap. Okay, I don't want anything that's like, oh, maybe a 3x here and there. I don't like that game. Because if you're playing in that ratio game, you may as well go do a leverage trade, all right? And you're here for much more. And of course, remember, these are lottery tickets. So you have to find good prices. There are good prices, right, that appear to you and they can give a lot of upside. If you buy a coin down 50% from the all-time high and it goes back to the all-time high, you just get a 2x. But if you get only good prices with those bullets, then it drops 95% down. And then you get in. Now you get a 20x back to the top. Okay, so it is what it is. But we'll see how it plays out, friends. We need the HEX pulse chain ecosystem, the momentum to continue. We need updates. We know all this. We know the game. Okay, I'm fleshed it out here. There's an opportunity that I think is worth it. It's leverage play, and it's sweet. It's just one buy. See how the next 2 years plays out, and that's it. You don't have to worry about any of these other junk playing around, all these other people. It's a fair launch. There's no secret insiders, VCs. You even know, right, Alex, from the goodness of his heart, did not even speculate on the fee structure or anything. He didn't even tell you what he was thinking. So, kind of tells you, man, this ecosystem really is real DeFi, okay? It's an ecosystem for the people, by the people. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button, all. Don't forget it loves you. Catch you soon.